Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is Thamayim in Atlanta, and I've got this YouTube short pulled up, and it's going into the fact that the United States is stepping up its production of nuclear weapons. And they're doing that because of the time period that we're in. We're coming into a time of war. As it says in Ecclesiastes, there's a time for peace and there's a time for war. And we are now in that. We're in that war period. And it's going to build up until the great and dreadful day of the Lord. So we'll go ahead and listen to this video and then get into the scriptures.
America's developing nuclear weapons again. At Los Alamos, the birthplace of the atomic bomb and the setting of Oppenheimer, scientists are beginning to create more nuclear bomb cores. There's just one problem, though. They haven't made one in over a decade and have never had to produce more than 10 nuclear bomb cores in a year. And Congress has mandated that they produce over 30 a year by 2026, with restarting nuclear manufacturing being America's biggest test since the Manhattan Project. Because once the USSR fell, the US stopped developing nuclear weapons because it was, the end of history. But now 3 decades later, America's reviving the industry, with the US wanting more nukes and new nukes to meet China's growing arsenal and to deal with Russia's endless hostilities. But not everyone's on board, with lawmakers and think tanks saying the US is making the same Cold War mistake of funneling money into weapons that will hopefully never be used. But Los Alamos is pushing through regardless as they begin production on America's newest nuclear warhead, the W-87-1. And this as scientists at Los Alamos worry that the increase in new nukes will result in the US conducting underground nuclear tests in Nevada again. And one official saying, if we go back and test, we will lose more than we gain. With it being believed that if the US begins tests, other nations are sure to follow suit. But with this and so much more, follow to stay in the loop. America's developing nuclear...
So you see it there, and that is a great example of Joel, the 3rd chapter and 10th verse. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong. And it's just showing that the U.S., the United States, is funneling money that could have been used for its infrastructure or agriculture or just well-being of its economy. They're funneling these resources into nuclear weapons. They're funneling it into weaponry and their arsenals, which they will be using in this World War III that is coming up, because this war is a different war than the wars that have been fought previously. So this is Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. And you could think of warfare throughout the ages, in which you had spears and bow and arrows and swords, and it was all close quarter battles. But now, in this modern time that we're in, there's going to be nuclear weapons used and missiles and ICBMs. And so it's illustrating that. It says, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire, because this is going to be a nuclear war. It won't be up close and personal like the battles throughout history. This is going to be fought from different sides of the world. It speaks of the arrows being shot from one end of the earth to the other. And this war is also the end of the Gentile rule, and it's going to come through fire. So this is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, and verse 10. It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, when no one's expecting it, except for the prophets and his elect that he's woken up, because Lord willing, I'm of that number, but been measuring the times diligently, and you do that by the prophecies. So the elect do know that this is the end. It says, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, that being the nukes, or the heavens being the rulership, and they're going to go out via these nukes. The rulership being the Gentile nations with Esau, Edom at the top of that. And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Because that arsenal that the U.S. is preparing right now, I'm sure Russia's preparing, China's preparing, the other nations are preparing and building up their weaponry. It's going to be used to take the Gentiles, the heathens, out of rulership, and especially Esau, Edom. So this is Isaiah chapter 34, and we're going to start at verse 2. For the indignation of the Lord Yahweh is upon all nations, indignation being righteous anger, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. That slaughter being World War III. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses. And the mountains being the rulership, shall be melted with their blood. And the heavens fading away, because they will be coming out of rulership, and Yahushua taking over. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth out from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. And that's that mushroom cloud that comes with nuclear destruction. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. And the sword in this case being the nuclear weapons that will be used to take out this rulership. It says, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Idumea being the Greek way of saying Edom. Edom being the self-proclaimed white people and this is including the small hats, the 1948ers. They're Idumea as well. And upon the people of my curse to judgment. And that's what they have been created for, to be the nation of people judged to show the world how not to be, how not to act, how not to rule. They are cursed, and it's their manifest destiny to go out in this way. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.